up to the sunrise, let the day begin. Johnny and Mark are here, let the laughter in. With every sip of coffee, feel the warmth inside. Conversations and humor take you for a ride. Your morning boost with Johnny and Mark, a perfect blend of laughter, igniting the spark, inspiration and insight. Join the journey, let them light your way. It's a brew of connection, a world to explore, a network of voices opening the door. With Johnny and Mark, feel the power of two, a morning tradition just waiting for you. As the day unfolds, carry what you've heard, inspire and inform with every single word. Johnny and Mark beside you as you start a new day, the morning show that lifts you through and through. A network of voices opening the door. With Johnny and Mark, feel the power of two, a morning tradition just waiting for you.
First in the mornings, originally from the Bayou State of Louisiana. Here at Cajun Roots Reselling, you make me an offer and I'll take it. You got the dollars, go see Johnny, he's got it all. Let him have it with no problem, see the special man.
See the special man.
You got the dollars, make me an offer. New England Cajun roots, Johnny understands.
Johnny understands.
Let him have it with no problem, see the special man. Let him have it with no problem, see the special man.
Hello, good morning and welcome on this Monday morning where it's crispy 62 degrees and partly sunny today. How's the weather in your neck of the woods, Jay?
It is 5:30 in the morning and already 91 degrees.
Ooh, that's not nice. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean we've been under a heat advisory for a few days now, and hopefully that'll fade out here in the next couple days.
Also, I want to mention Carol. Jeffrey did put it in the chat. He was listening last week when Mark will be out this week. He's out of town, visiting with Miss Denise's Magical Emporium. And then he has a couple of doctor's appointments or something going on, so he will not be here the rest of the week, this week. So Jay's going to be filling in. If you check the description bar below, I do have Jay's information in the description bar below. Anytime he steps in for Mark, I do have his information in the description bar. So you can check out his channel, his links, all that great information about Jay. This week,
You
I would
guys,
like to say
you
first,
guys are stuck with me this week.
this week we do have some birthdays I want to go over for the week, like I do every Monday morning, and then every day I'll do those for that day. This week we have tomorrow is Cool Ranch Amy's birthday tomorrow. And then on Friday, for those who know Bama Pickin', that's John, his birthday is this Friday. And this Sunday we have Crochet Queen Kathy, Landshark Picker, and Robert Reed's birthday is this Sunday. So definitely check it. And also a public service announcement. You'll start hearing me saying this on a regular basis, even more next month. You only have 1 week and 1 week and 1 month left for this quarter before we get into Q3. For eBay, if you have a level store that you get a coupon for your free shipping supplies, make sure you use it before you lose it, because you do have to use it by the end of September. So you have this week left and all of next month left, and you're gonna hear me say it a lot. So also I do have a couple of announcements. This coming up September, I had a cancellation this weekend. I got an email, somebody had to cancel. So if you are a member of the channel and you would like to be on September 1st's rapid fire round showcasing of members of the channel, Remember, you do not have to be a member to be in that chat. You do not have to be a member to purchase. You only need to be a member to be on the panel. And that is for 4:45 time slot. I had a cancellation. And if you would like to be on that, just please email me so I can have it for that, because I need to get those done by next weekend. This weekend coming up, actually, because that's going to be next Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, but next, September 1st. And then for the Shop Hop for September 19th, I had another cancellation, same person, and that would be for 4:30. It's a 30-minute drop video at 4:30. And if you want that spot, also email me for the Shop Hop, and that'll be September 19th. So yeah, if you want any of those spots, please let me know. Email me either for the Rapid Fire for members or the Shop Hop for next month, and I'll be glad to put you in those spots. Let's see who's in the chat first. Today is Carol. Hello, good morning and welcome, and how are you doing now that we got those out the way? And Regina, hello, good morning and welcome, and how are you doing too? Everyone, hello. Today's thought in quotes: as one goes through life, one learns that if you don't paddle your own canoe, you don't move. Amen on that one, girl. You just sit there, right? Unless the current takes you. And Miss B, hello, good morning and welcome, and how are you doing? Good to see you and welcome. And yes, if y'all missed this past Friday, I missed it, but I rewatched it on Saturday morning. Buffalo Picker Defend the Hustle is on every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He did make his announcement that I will no longer be permanent on the last Sunday of each month, last Friday of each month. However, I am still open for any time he wants me as a guest. Let's see. Carol has been a member 48 months already, Carol. What?
Wow.
Thank you
That's
very much
impressive.
and greatly appreciate it. It has been the best 48 months spent. Thank you very much, Carol. I greatly appreciate it. Yes. Yes. Because remember, I started this, I couldn't start the, I didn't start membership on this one until I had to get it monetized, you know? Yeah, that took me a little while. And good morning, Jeffrey. Hello, good morning and welcome, and how are you doing? And I saw the picture you had on
Hey, Jeffrey.
Instagram. That's right. We will find out. And here's Jay. And Ashley, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. You wait, you always painful. Well, thank you for waiting. It's greatly appreciated. And Miss Denise, hope you're feeling better. Good to see you. Now, as far as I know, she will be here.
You think waiting for the show to start is painful? You should be a part of it.
And also, Miss Denise will be here on the whole day this Wednesday. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Johnny did say, that's right, I sure did. Glenn, hello, good morning and welcome, and how are you doing? Good to see you. And how's that weather down in Louisiana? Oof, I don't want to think about it. And Claudette, hello, good morning and welcome, and how are you doing? Good to see you and welcome. And TZ, hello, good morning and welcome. Hope you and your husband are doing well. Hope everything's going well with all your surgeries and doctor's appointments. Let's see. Good morning. Everybody's saying hello and good morning. Joanne, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you and welcome.
Hi, Joanne.
Let's see. Jay, how are you doing? TZ asks.
I'm hanging in there, Miss TZ. How about you?
And Tina, hello, good morning and welcome. And Tina, thank you so much for all the nice and comments you've been making on the videos after it's been published for the live shows and all videos. I guess I just didn't want to hear Mark wasn't going to be. Yeah, Carol, it's true. Yep. It's a 65. Ooh, you're a little bit warmer than we are.
I'll take the 65.
Little Debbie, that's right. Get your Grey Poupon. That's right. Get her, get her. And how are you doing today, Joanne? I've been seeing Joanne on auctions a lot lately, too. And little Debbie, hope you're doing well. Hope mom's doing
Good
well.
morning, little Debbie.
This morning. Johnny, I was very sorry to stream on Friday. Why were you sorry? You did it, didn't you? That's all that matters. Do it. Just do it. Ms. B says, all is well. Thank you for asking. Prayers the same for all of you. Oh, thank you, Miss B. And Michael, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you.
Hey, Michael.
Let's see. That's right. Hump day. Storms today. Ew. That's not nice.
I'm jealous, Debbie. We got humidity and 100 and some odd degrees because you can just feel the moisture hanging in the air. It just won't rain. And boy, do we need it out here.
Yeah, started yesterday. We've been having like a light drizzle off and on yesterday and again this morning. So, yeah. Oh, thank you. I missed your stream on Friday. Oh, that's okay. It's all good. Also, don't forget to make your comments because we got one more week left. If you have not made any comments on any videos that I put out, whether it's a short video, a live video, or a uploaded video on any channel, please make sure to leave those comments because guess what? We're getting close to the first Monday of September when we will be doing the Moon Pie comment giveaway. TZ says, yes, Johnny, please continue prayers for my husband. He's still in the hospital. I'll definitely keep in my thoughts and prayers in my prayer list. We'll be on for a
Hey,
while.
3 different surgeries, TZ. My goodness.
Surgeries qualifiable. Oh, we'll definitely do that for you. I know it's been a long road, but it's gonna come to you. It's gonna be there for you. So Jay,
Yes, sir.
what do you have going on this week?
Tonight I am a guest with Angie's Oddities. I'll be on with her for her Monday market. So very, very excited to finally get to show up on a show as a reseller. That's going to be a blast. Be out there with our Misty Media titles and a few other goodies. Let's see. Friday night will be the Friday night hang on the night shift. And that's pretty much what I've got going on this week.
And if you haven't checked out my dashboard on my main channel's community post, today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be on with Becky's Vintage and More. And that's at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then tomorrow, I will be on Janine's channel with the Friends Selling with Friends with Mark and Janine's. That I'll be on at 4 o'clock. Yes, I changed my time zone. I want to see my time. I want to see how that works. I've always been at 1:30, but I figured, let's do something different. Well, I got to because tomorrow I got to bring my Princess Pebbles, my cat, to get groomed. And when I drop her off, I got to stay around that area for about an hour. So I get to go and get my eyes checked. It's that yearly thing. I didn't do it last year. Yeah, I passed last year.
Yeah, you know what? I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting phone calls from lens crafters that I'm due in for my.
And that's who I use, Lincraft.
And for my checkup.
I blew it off last year. I thought, oh, I'm good, yeah. And then I forgot, and something come up, and we didn't do it. So yeah. So that's what I got to do tomorrow. So that's why I picked the 4 o'clock time slot because I didn't think I'd be back home in time, and I don't like to rush. Let's see. Elizabeth, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. But I do have those done. It's in my community post, which I do every week. For the channels that I'll be on for the week, and the links are there. Also, if you didn't see it yesterday, I did a video yesterday. For those who are either monetized, full monetization, or if you're in under the fan funding program, I do have a video on how to figure that out if you are monetized under the fan funding. I did this video to show you what you must do by January 31st of 2027. It is something you must do to continue getting your monetization of your money that you get every month when you hit the $100 threshold, because that's the limit that you can only get, whether it's how often you get it done. But make sure you check that video out. And because I had a lot of requests, I know there's a lot of videos out there about the new changes coming up, but I'll do a shorter version of it, and I'll leave links in the description for you to read at your own convenience, because that's a lot to go over. So instead of doing what everybody else is doing, I'm going to do something a little different, similar to what I did yesterday on that video I dropped yesterday, and give you a little bit of a detail with more links in the description for you to read more about it, because there are some changes that are happening. But if you're already monetized, are you under the fan funding program, we are known as grandfathered in, that we don't have to do the new requirements of the 8,000 watch hours and the 2 million, 20 million views on shorts. But that's going to be coming up. I'm almost done with that one, and that should be up by Thursday. But there's the video I did yesterday. If you want to save it, don't do it right now, but just save it for later. Yeah. I saw that you...
Johnny, today would be that first day that they're counting
all
views
views.
from,
Yes, I'm going to talk
from
about that
the
in a few
moment the
seconds.
video starts.
Yes. Queen Elizabeth, thank you so much for that shout out on your box of moon pies. I noticed the box was open when you took that picture, so I figured you're enjoying it. That's good to hear. Cheryl, hello, good morning, and welcome, and how are you doing? And so, yes, what Jay was asking is starting today. See, back before today, before they did the change, today, and I talked a little bit about this last week when I got the email a couple of weeks ago. Before, it was like you had to wait like 30 to a minute or so. You had to watch the video for so long first before any views counted. Now, if you click on a video and it opens and it starts to play, you get every second count for your views under the view count. That before, it was a limitation where you had to stay in the video for so long for it to count. No one ever knew. I even looked it up. There was no in writing what that limitation was before it starts counting. But as of today, it is official. The minute you hit a play button and you start watching a video, even if you hover over it and you click on it, it's going to start counting as a view. So that's going to be one of the changes that starts today. There's so many
now we can
changes.
help
But
now
yeah,
we can help everybody with their views by going and at least starting to watch one of the videos.
correct. But make sure you, and another thing, when I talk about this video I'm going to go into detail of what you must do before January 31st, because if you can get yourself grandfathered in under the fan funding or the full monetization, you won't have to be requalified for the new 8,000 that starts in February. And Robin, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see
Hey,
you. And
Robin.
again, as I get this question a lot, does live shows help with your watch hours? Yes, it does. Anything you do, upload lives, uploaded videos, live, shorts, whatever, all of that counts. All of it. Yes. It builds up your watch hours. Because remember, that's in the 365 calendar days, not in a fiscal year. It's 365 calendar days that you got to keep that watch hour going.
Content is king. Keep
And
the
there's the East
content
Coast
flowing.
resellers today. Thank you for dropping it. And remember, like Miss Denise is doing, if you drop a link to a video, not just to a channel, please. As a creator, I would have probably quit after the new update watch time, but I like my stuff. Yeah, and then that's another thing. Don't stop. Because as long as you're in the program now and you are monetized, you will be grandfathered in, so you won't have to get the new 8,000 watch hours or 20 million watch views for shorts.
I'm with you, Debbie, though, because I mean, I treat my channel as a way of exposing our titles and our authors, and being able to do some of the fun stuff that that I feel personally, like the night shift. But if I reach monetization, great. If I don't, fine. But it's another avenue for me to be able to get the word out on everything I'm doing.
And I agree, little Debbie. You got to love what you're doing, first of all. But I know, like my other channels, I'm not going to rush to try to get those monetized. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't, because I'm not even near being fan funded on those. But I have a library of videos that I need to start pumping out. But again, I love and enjoy doing it. So yeah, that's all that matters. That's right. You got to enjoy what you're doing. So anywho, that's the few updates I have. And also, if you know of anybody, and I want another update. Last week, I talked about a problem I had on Poshmark. And we talked about how in my description, I had the list of measurements for a Vera Bradley quilted handbag. And the lady who bought it says that it was item not as described. And in her reason, she said it was smaller than what she expected. But yet I had in the description, so I copied and pasted everything I had in the description, put it in for the case that was put against me for that item. And in most of y'all, I do all descriptions and so that means she didn't read the description. But anyway, Poshmark, I got another email yesterday. Poshmark requested her to upload more videos with the measurements of the handbag. She didn't do it. So I got a request return denied, and all my earnings for that sale were released to me. It was not in my fault. So anytime you have anything like that on any platform, as long as you have your descriptions with the measurements of things, including the length, the width, the height, the depth, the handle drop, the whole 9 yards, you're going to be covered. And this is what happened here. And Poshmark asked to get more pictures, and she didn't do the last portion of what they requested, so they closed it Sunday. So yeah. Let's see. Let me get back in the chat. All right, Jennifer. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you.
Good morning, Jennifer.
It is okay that I put yes. That's good. Yes. Again, Jennifer's here, but yeah, you can drop links as long as it's not to your channel, but to a video. I have a busy few weeks. Yes, you're gonna be in Salem's this coming up in September. I won't be able to be there. Let's see. There's the night shift for Jay tonight, and I do have it on the community calendar. If you're not
The
sure,
night shift. No, that link is for Friday night.
come on, just
Tonight I'm on Angie's Oddities.
yes,
Monday
and
Market.
that's even good too, Ms. B. But yeah, I covered it, and they covered me. So that was my update from last week on that issue I had with a customer on Poshmark. So Steve and I are planning on going to visit Regina soon. Ooh, as far as I know, we're going to be going to the lake house next week. No, is it next week already? No, huh? Yeah, next, not this Friday, but next. We leave to go to the lake house, and we're going to be hopefully meeting back up again with Regina and Angie's Oddities. Yeah, because we leave on the 4th, and we'll be there until the 11th and drive back. So I'm looking forward to another meetup. All right, so with that being said, we got all that out of the way. Let's go into our featured portion of the show for today, and that is, it's never too late. So without further ado, let's go into our topic of the day. And thank you, Jeffrey. Yes, I will be on that show today at 2 o'clock. Today's topic is, it's never too late to get fit or fix your health. And Jay posted something on Facebook that I saw this morning, and it just so happened as part of the topic for today. So Jay, what are your thoughts of today's topic?
Hey, well, boy, what are my thoughts? Um, it taking care of yourself is absolutely essential. Um, you're no use to anybody below ground. Well, and again, that might be debatable too for some people. But I've I've encountered a bill from a hospital that had me questioning what taking care of my health should actually look like. But you know what? The bottom line is, if you want to be here and you want to be on this planet, and you want to see each sunrise, the responsibility is on you. You got to make sure that you're looking out for your mental health and your physical health at all times, regardless of what the outrageous cost might be. You got to make that decision to actually be here and make that work.
And if you're not on Facebook and you didn't see the post he posted 21 hours ago, actually is what it says. He has a lot of comments on it. And do you want me to share it?
Sure.
Okay, I have it pulled
It's
up.
public.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. He posted this 21 hours ago. And this is what he incurred after he was in the hospital last week.
This was for my 4-hour hospital stay. And that is after the $40,000 discount they gave me for being uninsured.
Yeah.
This is what I owe the hospital now for
And
the
this
4 hours I was there.
and this is just a prime example of our healthcare system when you don't have insurance.
And
There's no
I also posted in that post about what the cost is in Nevada for cremation or for a full casket funeral. So apparently I made a poor financial decision for my family by opting to go to the hospital. I could have saved a whole lot of money for everybody by just keeling over. But I made that choice that I guess I'll actually stay here on the planet instead for my husband and my dog. And when I get turned into collections, because I will be turned into collections, they can't get blood from a stone. So, but that post has kind of gone a little viral, more than I had expected, but it hit a nerve. But I tell people that when my mom was really, really sick, she was racking up hospital bills, and the hospital called her and said, uh, well, we need you to put you on a monthly payment plan. And she said, okay, and I can do $50 a month. They said, well, that's not going to be sufficient because of how much you owe, and we'll turn you into collections. And she said, great, turn me into collections, and then I'll pay just $10 a month, because as long as I'm paying something, there's nothing you guys can really do about it. And they did, and she did, and up until the day she died, she was paying $10 a month. And I believe there's a new government regulation that says it can't be held against your credit. They
Nope.
passed a law last year.
Yeah.
So, um, so for those of you that live in countries with socialized medicine and say, hey, I have to wait like a month to see a doctor, that really sucks. But I guarantee you that $30,000 bill, which is more about what I make in an entire year at my day job, I can tell you that you're much better off having to wait for that appointment and not having to pay for it than getting your appointment and probably not going to live long enough to see it paid off.
And Carol said, after reading it, I was worried about you, Jay. And there's the link if you want to go into it. And it's like 501 comments already.
Yeah.
And there's the link to the Facebook post that he did. Little Debbie says, and that's why won't go unless I'm freaking dying. And Robin says, send my body to Tennessee Body Farm. Don't answer. Yeah. That is incredible when you're sick. Yeah. They're in pretty, ooh, Lord Jesus. Well, be careful out there if you have to go outside. But again, with health, and I say this, and again, not every situation where if you have insurance, definitely use it because that's what you pay for it, right?
Heck yeah.
But the reason I wanted this, and I set up all these topics during the weekend because it was things that I wanted to cover, because of the fact that we have several in our community, by the way, who, for example, I know for a fact, Mark and Mike, Mike was trying to get Mark was trying to set up an appointment for Mike for a procedure or getting checked in with a new doctor. He was not going to be able to get an appointment till March of next year. So he found another route to get for him to get to see a doctor. You know, one of the things I don't understand is if you're having a bad health or you know something's wrong with your body, because you're going to know, and you go to get an appointment and they don't give it to you. Like when I did my yearly checkup for mine for the year that I got to do for my insurance, I always set it up usually around June, July, the middle of the year. I couldn't get an appointment. Now this was last year when I had my last appointment. I couldn't get it till November. So now I got to wait till November of this year for my physical for my insurance this year. So try to get in. Sometimes you do have to get more than one opinion depending on what's going on with your health. But again, when I say or fix your health in portion of the topic for today, a lot of times things that we can change by the way we eat, the way we move, the way we exercise. We don't physically, and this is my opinion, I stay busy. I stay on the move. My goal is to have over 6,000 steps in a day. So I'm always constantly doing something because if I'm sitting, I'm always thinking of what I need to do. So instead of just thinking about what I got to do, I just get up and do it. And if I am watching some kind of program on TV, every commercial, I'm up doing something. So you want to make sure you're constantly moving because your health is important. But again, you have to try and see what you can do, even if you can of any kind of way get some type of medical help to make sure you get your health in check because it's very important.
Yeah, I have a friend who is extremely ill and really needs a transplant, and he's having to go the GoFundMe route just to be able to get his maintenance meds until the time comes that he's finally able to get the transplant. But we're hoping he survives long enough to get the transplant. But
Now, I have
the
to
fact
ask
that
she's in Canada. How is the insurance for you in Canada? Go ahead and finish, Jay.
yeah, just say, yeah, just saying having to start a GoFundMe to pay your medical bills is really, really sad.
Yeah.
Matt,
Matt,
maybe
hello, good morning and welcome, and how are you doing? And there's Josie and
you're
Dee's
like
link
one,
today.
2, 3.
When I was in the hospital for 9 weeks, my bill was over $250,000. Wow.
Hey, Regina, you came out ahead of me. If you divide that 250,000 by the hour, you actually did better than I did.
Yeah, if you meet your deductibles, that's even better, right? Healthcare system. So yes, it does, especially with the deductibles that you got to meet before you get full coverage. So did we, Regina? Yeah, thank God. Once you hit that deductible, everything else is 100%. Thank God for that. Isn't healthcare free in Canada? I was asking. I think so. Patrick! Hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. No advertisement for your special pizza place?
I don't think
I have
Domino's has anything going
I've
on at the
spent
moment.
years digging through the medical channels and research things from my health. It's exhausting. Like doctors just offer the same level of care. Oh, really? My
Because
medical.
they're all being pushed to only spend about 5 minutes with their patient, because of how many are waiting.
And
There's
back to Regina's thing about the deductible. And I say this because I have one medication that I have to take. Ever since I came down with leukemia, I had the bone marrow transplant. There's one medicine I have to take. At the beginning of the year, just for 30-day supply, 1 month of 30 pills is $2,800 out of pocket. That's not counting before the insurance of $8,250.
geez,
But thank God I found the program through my insurance that I can get it full coverage for the year to pay that deductible. If it wouldn't be for that, I would not be able to take that medicine. I wouldn't. It's just too much. I can't afford it. It's more than what I get in a month on my monthly income. So yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. I did that one already. And that's not counting all my other medicine. But you know what though? I thank God that now I used to take 3 different blood pressure medicines. Now I'm on zero. None. Thank God.
the one thing I love about my endocrinologist is he is a firm believer that just because you don't have insurance doesn't mean that you should be denied health care. And I
Exactly.
cannot tell you how much free medication he has given me in the couple years that I've been going to him, and found ways to cut back on the labs that he needs to follow me so that I'm not having to pay as much when I go to do blood work. I mean, he's really, really in tune with understanding that situation, and altering his practice for whatever his patients can actually afford, so they get health care. And I really appreciate that. No other doctor's ever done that for me before.
Claudette says it makes me crazy knowing that you guys have to pay. We have OHIP, which covers all hospital stays and surgeries. Very grateful for that, and we don't have insurance on the side because we're 65 or older. So medicine is free. Wow. Yeah, our healthcare is a joke. You right about that. It's almost like they want you to die. Exactly. But
Hey,
that's the
hey,
sad.
Matt, go to my Facebook post and you'll see where I laid out how much cheaper it is to die than it is to go to the hospital. I've got the numbers all right there.
But I do have to say, this past weekend I watched on the news, and somewhere here in Massachusetts where a doctor got caught cheating the system, putting in these things that he see these patients through Medicare and Medicaid, and he never saw them patients to begin with, but he was claiming it through to get paid on his end, however they file their claims to get paid through Medicaid, Medicare. He
Well,
got
that's
busted with
nice.
a sting. So I said, good to hear that. It was good for him. Shouldn't be doing that. That's why some of us have to pay more on insurance because of those people like that. Thank God I got Medicaid for now. That's right. And that's a sad thing, but it's amazing if we want a good and better health. But a lot of times, like for example, I love watching these channels where they do a comparison of they do like exchange gifts or packages with people like from another country, and then they do like a sampling things that are from their country and our country, and it's amazing on the ingredients that are so different in their country
Oh,
compared to ours.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, all the
We
preservatives.
we talk about that all the time from because my husband's from Peru, and the times that we've gone to Peru, and people don't buy a loaf of bread at the supermarket that's filled with preservatives to stay on the shelf for weeks at a time. They go to a bakery, and they buy what they need for the next few days, and it's all fresh and awesome and cheap.
And you know, that's
and
true to
that's
Little Debbie, but what I'm saying is they got busted because they were never seeing the patients, but they were claiming it through the billing, which sucks because it's not the people's fault for the healthcare receiving it because they never received it. That's the bad part about it. You know, they said that they had these. I, I'm, I'm just glad they got caught. There was a big sting operation and they got caught. He probably, yes, he did. Yes, he did. And yes, insurance is a joke. You're right about that. Yeah, they made the news. And that's good because they're starting to buckle down on that because evidently there's a couple of others that are getting, they were getting busted for the same thing. It wasn't just one doctor. So, you know, that's the sad thing about it. They don't realize how big of a problem they cause the health system and the healthcare insurance companies when we are the ones paying our insurance when those who can't afford insurance. You know, that's the sad thing about it.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
working on, I'm writing all of my legislators with a copy of my medical bill, and essentially kind of a longer version of my Facebook post. And, you know, sitting and complaining about it is one thing. Taking what happened and doing something about it is really what's most important. So it was, you know, I wanted to share with everybody on Facebook what I was dealing with, but uh, I think it's important that I get, you know, that I give a real life example out there to the people who can actually make decisions and make changes. And, you know, if I have to write everybody that is in Congress or Senate, then I think I've found my new cause to get fired up behind. I mean, I already was, but then this just really, you know, really
And
put
I'm
it on
glad
me.
you brought that up because that's true. If you are sick and tired of some of these things that are happening, including the insurance and the healthcare system, write your legislatures, write your government, municipalities, and let them know your feelings about it. You know, see what we can get done. It takes a village. One person can maybe start something, but yeah, a lot of people need to send into that. I am on the other side. I have great insurance. And I mean, don't get
Oh,
me
that's
wrong, I do have good insurance, but the part of it is every year when the insurance thing opens that you can get insurance, try to see what you can find because sometimes every year that changes. So for me, I think it's starting this year. I finally got it to where my insurance is going to cover my premium for my main insurance. So yeah, well,
Well, we're even more restricted here in Nevada because we're not allowed to participate on the national board, where all the health plans are. You can only buy from the state of Nevada insurance website, and as a result, you're very restricted on the choices you have. And if they're either the deductibles are so high that you'll never see, you know, you can afford the plan, but you'll never actually get any coverage from it, or you can absolutely, you know, you can't afford it to get, you know, the coverage that you actually need. So every year I look at what comes up on the board, and there's never anything that makes any sense for Luis and I to sign up for, and so we don't. But we're also limited because some of the better plans that are on the national scale, you know, states had the option of either opting into the national plan or creating their own insurance boards, and Nevada was one of those states that decided not to go with the national.
and
And
that's
I
true,
think
Carol.
Georgia is another state the same way.
Now, also, for example, when Robert and I, when we first got married, he was going to put me on his insurance plan, but because of the coverage and the expense was more expensive for me than it would be on my own. Why I don't know, but yeah, it's crazy.
I think the important thing here is, yeah, it's kind of a negative topic, and I know we try to avoid negativity on the morning show, and I don't think we necessarily have to look at it just from the negative side. We do have a voice. We do have the ability to stand up for our health, to be our own advocates, to be advocates for others, and I think it's really important that, you know, whenever society agrees to come together and work together to achieve change, it happens. When we stop talking about what separates us and we talk about what makes us the same, and we come together on stuff that we agree on, that's when real change happens. And I think it's important that, you know, everybody is touched somehow by the healthcare system. They've seen somebody go through a really horrible time, or they've gone through it themselves. You know, I mean, we've seen that especially here in our community, just since the end of last year, with so many people who've really gone through it. Um, you know, it takes all of us to come together, and help make change for everybody. We don't live alone. We don't live in a bubble. What we do affects other people, and we have that ability to improve other people's lives. And I think that's the really important way to look at this is if you know something and you don't like something, then you got to stand up for change and come together as a group of people.
And again, we're not making it as a negative topic because it's to be aware of it. How many of you may know somebody, that is having that problem where they can't afford insurance or they can't afford the doctors, going to the doctors and things like that. But again, it's something you can do to take the steps to be in better health for yourself, and only you can do it. How do walk-in clinics work for you guys? Do you have an insurance? I am not sure because I try not to go there.
Claudette, my experience with walk-in clinics is they will take you as long as you can pay. I mean, that's kind of how it works. Realistically, the hospitals themselves can't, hospital emergency rooms can't refuse you here in the U.S. just because you don't have insurance. There is a federal requirement that everybody, even if they're indigent, must be seen in an emergency room. It doesn't excuse you from paying for it, but they can't turn you away either. Legally, they cannot turn you away just because you don't have insurance. Walk-in clinics tend to be more private, and therefore they can be more restrictive because they're privately held companies for the most part, unless it's a walk-in clinic that's specifically associated with a hospital system. The emergency room that I went to is related to Henderson Hospital, but technically it's a freestanding emergency room that's not attached to the hospital. It's in a different location, and they do make you sign a document when you go in that you agree and understand that they are not a walk-in clinic, that they're an emergency room.
So I'm wondering how the urgent care works because I've never had to do it for
Same
urgent
thing.
care. So
Same
I
thing.
know
Urgent care,
there's a
walk-in
lot of
clinics
them
are the
popping
same.
up. Yeah, there's a lot of these urgent cares popping up everywhere. But one thing I've noticed in our area, in our town, and the surrounding towns, the hospital network that's in our area is a lot of the ones that are opening these urgent cares and other standalone. So I'm not sure how that would work, but I try not to if I don't have to.
I will say this, I've had very, very good experience where if what you're experiencing is fairly minor, CVS and Walgreens have their own walk-in clinics now, and I gotta say I got pretty good care from the CVS ones that I went to, and of course it was far more affordable. Uh, and they're not looking at you're not going to get a surgery done at CVS, but for basic walk-in stuff, it was actually the CVS walk-in clinic was actually very well done, and there's a lot of very inexpensive telemedicine now as well, where you can pay for a single visit for like $30 or something for a telehealth visit, and still be able to see a doctor who can talk to you, kind of examine you, and get prescriptions made if you need to.
I'm glad you said that because around here, that I've noticed when they've been remodeling like CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart, they now have a specific, like a private room for
Yep.
that kind of thing if you need to. They don't no longer have it just in the open area of where the pharmacy's at. It is
Right.
actually a closed-in room that you can have one-on-one with the pharmacist and anyone that can help you at that time. But yeah, check it out. We do have urgent care clinics that are attached to we have that here too, and it's part of the hospital. Billing through the
Patrick,
urgent care is
Patrick, in regards to your question about the writing refresher
yeah.
class, highly recommend checking your local community college. They usually will offer either free classes or low cost classes. Also, if you have a community that has does like summer activities or summer sports and things like that, they usually also offer basic writing composition classes that you can take that again are extremely inexpensive or even free. But I would check with your community college first in your area.
Uh, that'd be perfect for you, Patrick. They have a registered nurse at our pharmacies now. Yeah, like when I had to do the what they call that again, the shingle shot, and I had to do it in two different rounds. They had already, when they remodeled our Walmart, they already had that, where they put me in a special room. When I say special, meaning it's an actual closed-in room compared to when we used to do it outside. It was like a closed-in, like, when you go do the taxes, if people go to Walmart or whatever and they do those little tax things in the front, it was basically like that with those little petitions. Now it's an actual room. So,
When
yeah.
I first started taking insulin shots, I went to Smith's Pharmacy. Smith's is a supermarket chain out here, and their pharmacy had a private room where I was able to meet with the pharmacist, and they were able to demonstrate with me how to go about administering my insulin, and that was incredibly useful.
And that's good compared to having to go to the doctor and have to get that through the doctor's office, because they're going to
Shoot,
charge you for that.
it's a $70 to $100 cost for me to go to just to be seen by the doctor before
Mhm.
anything else has happened. So, I'm always having to look for some other low cost way of getting something done.
Uh, Jennifer says her CVS does it too. Now I know Robert goes through Walgreens, and they
Yep.
did it when he had to get this new device that I forget what it's called, but he puts it under his arm. They even gave him a little class there on how to do it. And happy early birthday, Amy! Tomorrow's Amy's birthday. Y'all.
Amy,
Happy early
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Let's see. Amy says I live in a rural Denver area. There are several urgent care locations, and they are good if you think you have a sprained ankle or a sniffle. And
Free. Oh,
free.
maybe free if you have insurance. I Walgreens definitely doesn't do any of those shots for me for free.
No. And how are you doing this morning, Diane? Good to see you. Welcome. How did they do that for free? Interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen him. I've never been. I mean, I urgently need the shingle shots and can't afford them.
Well, for
So
me,
I
it came out of my insurance. I think my first shot I paid $8, $8 or $10. And the second was free because I already met my deductible. So the first one I had to pay for, but then it came out of the rest was out of my deductible. Johnny, anything I have to be aware of when I get my shingles vaccine? I am qualified for the 2 years from now. I should I have a brace for?
what should I
Actually,
brace for? Brace for the cost. Brace for the cost if you don't have insurance.
no, that's true. But what's going to happen is for me, I had the first shot and I had to wait 2 to 3 months to go get the second one because you have to have a span. But for me, I had in the same shot. You know how when you do the flu shot, or if you're doing the COVID shot, if you are part of that, the day I did mine, I did all three, but they did them in two in one arm, the flu and the vaccine in one arm, and the shingle shot in the other. But then when I went back, make sure they're supposed to do the shingle shot in the opposite arm of what you got the first one in. Other than that, I had no problem, and I got all three done the first time together in the same time.
And Matt, depending on if you've had chicken pox and depending on when you had chicken pox, if you had chicken pox anytime after age 21, that whole thing about having to wait until a certain age is bullpucky. You need to,
40 years old, 50. I had to wait till I was 50.
they don't, if you are at much higher risk for shingles if you had chicken pox after 21. I've had 3 doctors tell me don't sleep on the shingles vaccine. Make sure you get it done because you're going to be in much worse shape if you get shingles.
I had the chicken pox at the age of 16, and I had it really bad. So when my dad came down and found out he had shingles 5, 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, he had it bad. But after that, when I was at 50, they told me I had to wait till I was 60. But then all of a sudden, my doctor said, no, you can get it now. So he had to put in a prescription for me to get it. So I got it. Yeah. Other than that, I didn't have any problems with it. But yeah, I had it really bad at the age of 16.
I got chicken pox in my late 20s, and they have
Okay,
told me
hopefully
that
there.
I shouldn't have even waited past 40 to get the shingle shots
Well,
because it's still so active in my system for having gotten it so late, and it was a horrible case of chicken pox. Like the older you get, if once you get it, the worse it's gonna be for you for
but
both.
yeah, they used to make it at 50, but now it's you should be available for it. But like for me, my doctor just put a prescription in and I got it. Shingle shot hurts. It didn't hurt me. it hasn't helped. Shingles actually get worse. So far, knock on wood, it's worked for me. We have Medicare, but I probably had want pay being
Yeah,
old sometimes it's good, but no, yeah, out of
yeah, it
pocket.
is Medicare that's probably covering you there. I know my dad had some coverage.
Michigan.
Uh, I know my dad had some coverage from Medicare when he got his shingles.
I had the chicken pox at the age of 8. My wife had shingles.
Jeez.
Ooh, at 30.
Ouch.
Wow. Yeah. But you know, if you feel like you want, your doctor can give you a prescription, and you just go to whatever place you go to and get it there. Because they don't do it there because they have to have it in the fridge. So you have to make sure you have an appointment for it because they don't keep that all the time on hand. Unless you call and make an appointment, they'll have it for you there because it has to be refrigerated. I had shingles when I was 8 years old after my child. Oh, really?
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
That's crazy.
My dad had it on his side and all along his face and his eyes.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's still got nerve damage in his eye from it.
I remember when I went to the urgent care clinic when I had when I thought when I had the chicken pox, just didn't quite know what it was yet. And I remember they had me sit outside, like literally outside the building because there was a pregnant woman inside that was being seen. And when I went in for my appointment, it's the only time I've actually heard a doctor gasp. I took my shirt off and my front wasn't too bad, but then he walked around and looked at my back and like I literally heard him gasp and I was like, "Oh, I guess I must really have a bad CD." Same thing, right? I had it on my back. Very, yeah. It's I,
Yeah.
thank goodness for oat baths. Those oat baths really helped.
What was that when Mom used to
I
make?
was
A calamine lotion, or it was something that was pink that she put in our water when we had the chicken pox.
I was trapped in my apartment for a week. I couldn't go out, and uh, back then there wasn't really there was no food delivery, but there was. I don't know if you guys remember. There used to be a grocery delivery service called Webvan, where you could go online and order your groceries, and they would drop off the totes,
Ooh.
and and that's what I had to do. I had to order through Webvan and have them drop the totes off outside my apartment door, and then uh, have them run away so I could bring them in, and then I had to kind of disinfect the totes when I gave them back to them.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. Matt says my wife had it from her ear wrapped around to her cheeks.
Yeah, ugh, that
Yeah.
sucks.
My dad still to this day has issues with the nerves in his eyes from it. Always got to put medicated eye drops in his eyes. So if anybody else would like to come on up, or anybody would like to come on up and promote what you have going on your channel, the link is in the bottom of the chat. You're more than welcome to come on up. There's so many different channels going on. Make sure you check those out. Good morning, Joanne. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. I might have said hello earlier, but hello
I was gonna say
again.
she's been here the whole time, Johnny.
I say it and I realize, oh wait, I already said hello. I never had the spots shot for shingles. I believe that the antidepressants are still stressful. Okay. Interesting. Okay. My mom put my lotion on the chick. Yeah. Yep. That was a big thing back in the day. Um,
I just saw yesterday on YouTube an old video for Bactine. Remember when Bactine was the stuff that every time you got a cut, that was the stuff you put on there? Burned like hell. Bactine.
no, what was it? Mercurocone?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was the other one? My mom called it monkey blood. It was yellow. I can't remember the name of it.
So funny seeing an ad for Bactine. I was like, wow, that was a blast from the past. Of course you can, Matt.
Something that's grinding your gears? Oh no, huh? Yes. Iodine. That's what it was. Yep. No, it was yellow.
Iodine can be yellow.
Was it mercurochrome?
I think mercurochrome the yellow one though,
Hold on, I gotta find out.
like an orangey yellow. He says sulfur powder. Does it make your cut smell like a fart?
No. Yep, it is mercurochrome. Okay. Yep. That's what it was. I had to Google what was that. What did that mean? Because my grandma, you always called it monkey blood. Does anyone remember taking the medicine? Paragraph.
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
Never heard of it. I had a high fever. What? Wow, where it went? I had a high fever as a child, and mom put it on my ice bath. All right, my husband had shingles around his stomach and back. Yeah, if you ever see the commercials, they could be anywhere on your body. That's the bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay, some of you guys know I do. Some of you guys know I do picking videos. I had someone send me a rude comment how I missed something. I'm okay people telling me I missed something, but please do not sassy it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's now. Like the funny part is when I'm watching a video of somebody doing a picking or going to a garage sale, estate sale, and I'm yelling, "Pick that up! You gotta get that!" But like they're gonna hear me, you know. But I don't go and add a comment saying, "Oh yeah, don't be rude about it." No, I agree with you there. No, that is not something you should do. And I'm sorry to hear that you're doing that or you're having to do that. It is easy to see it in the video, but being
Yeah,
exactly
you know,
it's harder. Yeah,
Matt, it's the old thing. Don't feed the trolls.
that's right.
So they want some attention. You know what? Just don't give it to them. They're looking to get a response out of you. They want you to engage with them because it gives them their dopamine hit that they were able to set somebody off, and it gets them attention. And then people looking at them and looking at their channel. And nah, you know
Okay, I'm
what?
gonna tell you how I handle that when I do get every now and then when I do these how-to videos. And as most of y'all know already, when I first started doing YouTube, I had a lot of problems where I was trying to learn something and the videos that were out there would show me like A to C, but nothing in the middle of how they got there. So I always vow that if I do a how-to video, I want to make sure I show step by step to how you get to the next one until you get to the final product of what you're looking for. Well, this one particular person, every time I did one, would come back and say, well, you don't think you could have done this in less time? I said, why don't you do one? Or something like that. I said, but instead of saying that, because that's what I would say, but I wouldn't type it. What I would say was, well, thank you very much for the feedback. Hope you get to. I hope I get to see any of your how-to videos soon. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Kind of killing them with kindness, but not being in a derogatory way. And thank you for the support, by the way. Thank you for watching it. You know, that's how I would reply. And that's how I've always replied when it's like that same person every time. But you know what? I got my watch hours from them, so that's all good.
Yeah, really.
Gate Smasher, hello, good morning, and welcome and harding. So don't let it be deterring to you to not to do more. But again, think about it this way. You might be able to now keep an eye out for those kind of things in the future. But yeah, I understand.
Take care, D.
And how are you doing today, Gate Smasher? But see, East Coast Resellers, that's right, today. Who you said? Did I miss somebody? Oh, Miss D, yeah, she's got the, today on the East Coast Resellers today. What was interesting? What did I miss?
Yeah, he's got to push gators around.
Oh, yeah. Good morning. Hello. And there's Mia's link for tonight. It's 6 o'clock. Actually, it was somebody that wasn't even in our community. When I say that, the person who was doing that wasn't anyone I ever saw in any of the chats. But that just goes to tell you, and I'm only saying this because this is my experience. I don't feed them as, even if there are trolls. I thank them for watching my video. Thank you for the comment. And maybe I'll see one of your how-to videos coming soon to see how you do it. You know, something like that. Just to kind of like kick him back with kindness, but being not nasty or negative about it. But yeah, I just thank them and okay, you know, thank you for the comments. You know, thank you for the watch hours. Looking forward to seeing your videos. Something like that, you know. But nope, it was nobody in our community, but I don't see those comments anymore because I still do how-to videos, you know. I try to make it as short as possible depending on the topic, but sometimes it just takes a little bit longer to get there, but that's how I am. That's how, when I was learning how to do things on YouTube and I couldn't find it, it's like, oh wait, how did you get from A to B? What happened in the middle? I didn't see nothing. How do you got there? Nothing. So yeah, that's why I do it the way I do. And I get more compliments. Yeah, granted, some a little bit longer than others. Like this week, I think the longest I did was like 12 minutes, a little over 12 minutes this past week on yesterday's video. So I did it quicker than I thought. So yeah. And I'm also learning things like a hook at the beginning of the video, how to end my video shorter so I can do a playlist and that kind of stuff. So it's a work in progress. I'm still learning. But yeah, you know, that's how you got to figure it out. But you got to do what you got to do sometimes, you know. So with that being said, Jay, what do you got going on this week? Don't you have something going on tonight?
Yep, tonight I will be with Angie's Oddities on her Monday market. Really looking forward to that. It's looking forward to being a reseller with another reseller, being a guest on somebody's show. I really am appreciative of that, and so are my authors. And then Friday night will be the Friday night hang on the night shift. And of course, tomorrow and Wednesday, I'll be right here in the morning with Johnny on the morning show.
Did anyone get a mustard plaster when you got a cold, chest cold? My mom used to make them for us and take our shirt, old T-shirt, and put it in there and buy it. Wait, well, this chat's flying on me. Let's see. My mom used to make them take an old T-shirt and put it in there. Towel, stressed. No, we used
Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yes, yep, on the chest and on the throat. I still do that to this day. But no, I've never heard of that.
Mustard goes on a hamburger or a hot dog, not my chest.
Exactly. I know how to have had shingles, not good for me. Yeah, I saw my dad with it, and it's not nice. What was them? I've never heard of that one. How do you operate a camera and an additional camera so that you can do camera down shots? The best thing would most likely be like the camera you have, like say on your computer. You can use the laptop or whatever, or if you have an external camera. But if you're using another camera, you would have to maybe use it on a tripod of some kind with the hook. I have one right here.
You can also wear it. There's a lot of kinds that you can wear the camera around to be able to do the down shot.
I'm glad you said that so I can grab the other item. All right. This is some of the things I use when I do like a video. This is one that's like on a tripod. I even have one in my quilting room. This is on a little tripod. And I'll make this big for a minute. It's on a tripod that you basically put here. And then this, you rotate. You got the handle here the way you can turn it down. Have it on a tripod. If you're using your phone, this would be used for your phone. You basically would open it. It opens and stretches. And then you can use the neck to make the camera look downward, if that's what you're doing. They also have the kind that you can clip to maybe a shelf or something like that. Or, when I'm outsourcing, this is what I do for hands-free. It's a harness for your chest. You put your camera here, and you would use this for your camera so your hands free, and you can adjust the camera how you want it as a second camera on this one as well. So that's just a couple of things that I use that helps. But I don't really use a camera down, or if you have like a down scope, a scope style camera, you can do that, but it's going to be with a USB plug. And this is what you would plug into your computer, the USB, to use it as a second camera. And some of those do come, most of mine come with a little small remote that you can adjust it as you need it. So
yes, Elizabeth, you can connect it to your computer, and then inside your software, you would switch your camera view. So you'd have whatever software you're using, you would have a listing of.
And you do have a little control on it too.
Yeah, it would show you both cameras that are attached, and you just switch between them inside your streaming software.
But just make sure if you're using StreamYard, Remix, EVMux, whatever streaming platform you're using, just make sure your camera acknowledges that camera, whether it's a USB plug or Bluetooth. That way you have to have it connected to your device, whatever computer you're using, into the system that you're using for your streaming. That way it'll connect it and recognize that camera, so when you do switch it, it'll go directly to that camera. So yes, you do have to have it on to connect.
And it's nothing more than just simply going into your drop down of your available cameras and choosing whichever camera you want to use at that moment.
Exactly. And yes, that's a great question.
That is a great question.
But yeah, you do have to have, it's a USB plug, then yeah. And they do make them. I don't use any that are Bluetooth. All of mine are plug and play. And that just, you plug it in, connect it, and you're done. I don't know how she did it. I've never heard of that. I'll have to ask Rob because they're German descendants. Never heard of that either. I haven't either. My breakfast is over. Well, bacon. But do you connect it to your computer? Yes. The answer is yes.
We just talked about.
Yeah, that's for GoPro or any camera. As long as you have the connections for the bottom of your camera. I have one over there that I use in my photo station that is connected all the time. That's the same way, but it's it's on an extension like it's a tripod, but it goes up higher. And that's what I use on my photo station.
And I use my laptop computer camera, and then I have my cell phone set up for any other additional angles that I need.
Yeah.
And I have a separate software program I go through with that, so I can switch. But as everybody knows that saw my last pre-recorded video, I ain't very good at it. That's why I like to stick to lives.
But also, if you're doing, now just remember this, if you're doing it from your phone, you will not be able to use a second camera. It's got to be a laptop or a computer that you can do that with, just to remind you. If you're going live from your phone on YouTube, you will not be able to use a second camera.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a computer thing.
Yeah. And it's just something you need to plug in and make sure it recognizes that camera within whatever system you're using for lives. Yeah. Excellent question, Elizabeth. All right, so with that being said, we're going to go and get in the show. Don't forget, today at 2 o'clock, I am on Becky's Vintage and More on her show. Got a laptop now. Yeah, I heard. Congratulations. And that'll be at 2 o'clock today. And then tomorrow we'll be on with Janine's Friends Selling with Friends. That's at 4 o'clock. But be back here again tomorrow morning at 8:30 with the Morning Boost with none other than Jay stepping in this week for Mark. Keep Mark and Mike in your thoughts and prayers as they're also going through some appointments and things like that. But they're on vacay right now, so I'm not sure if they're going to have appointments or not. I don't know. I just know that Mark was in, they've been videoing with Denise lately. They've been visiting with Denise. They even showed videos of him, Mike was vacuuming her living room. So yeah, y'all need to go check the video. So you go, Mike. All right, everybody. So with that being said, if you want to come on after the show's over, you have any questions, concerns, or you need help with anything, just come on in. The link is at the bottom of the chat, pinned. You're more than welcome to come in. Just make sure your camera and your mic is connected because it will not allow you to come on unless they are connected and they recognize both your mic and your camera. So with that being said, as I say before in each and every show, love always. Love is always free. Please be kind to one another till we meet into another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day. Until we meet again, later. Peace out. And y'all come back now. You hear?
First in the mornings, originally from the Bayou State of Louisiana. Here at Cajun Roots Reselling, you make me an offer and I'll take it. You got the dollars, go see Johnny, he's got it all. Let him have it with no problem. See the special man. See the special man. You